right? Unfortunately, we do see that in this area, we are quite worried and quite concerned about one thing. There is a lot of supply in this area. Whether or not will the demand be able to soak up this supply is something that is of a question mark for now.
Welcome to another episode of New Launch Review by KYA Real Estate Team. So today we'll be talking about
Zyon Grand.
Yes. Okay, so what about Zyon Grand?
So basically, by the time you see this video, the preview is actually on 8th of October. So maybe say we're going to be about 2-3 days afterwards, which is just nice because once you go down and see the show flat, if you're interested, you will be looking at videos like this to find out, you know what, yes, visually it's beautiful, but from an investment point of view, from an on-stay point of view, is this something that I want to consider as my next home?
Yep. And let's take a look at some development information. So this one is quite special because we have 706 residential units and 373
service apartments.
Service apartments, yes. And it is a 99-year leasehold project that is located in
District 3.
Yes,
correct.
in the RCR region. So the TOP date is about 2030 September.
Correct.
Yep. So moving on to the developers. Who are the developers, Kenneth?
CDL as well as Mitsui Fudosan,
yes,
which are some of our more renowned developers. I mean, nowadays, they have different collaborations ongoing. But one good thing is that, these are one of the better ones that we see out there. So as I was sharing with you, in terms of our preview date, it actually commences on 8th of October. And in terms of booking date, you're looking at 25th October 2025.
Yep. So I think we are still in a very good period whereby, we can do previews and we can still do the different analysis to make sure that you get the right unit that you want.
And the fun part is that, as you mentioned, end of the year, you have 5 new launches, right? So the most recent one will be Sky Holland.
Yes.
Then followed by Penrith. And that is where you have your Zyon Grand as well.
Yep.
And your Faber. So all these projects are all lined up kind of like 1 week apart. So it gives consumers out there some time to breathe and really think through.
Which is a project that's right for you.
Can you imagine if they were to all like launch on the same weekend or stuff like that? Then booking date also same. Then I tell you what, the most tiring people are the agents, are the taggers, because they're going to be running everywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
So I would say that the developer is nice enough to be very strategic also.
Yeah.
From my understanding, there's only one project, which is the Sand, which is actually shifted slightly further back in say later part of November.
Yes.
Yeah. So right now, I think there's a lot of like hype in terms of which one should I choose. Right. So today we're going to be focusing on Zyon Grand. So in terms of developer track record, we know that CDL right have a few developments that I think is quite well known, such as Irwell Hill Residences as well as Boulevard 88. So these are all the very luxurious projects.
Yes.
How about Mitsui Fudosan? Do you know?
We do have the Tokyo Midtown, which is located in Tokyo, Japan. And we have the 50 Hudson Yards also, is located in New York, United States.
Right. So from this, you can tell that, some of these developers, they don't just do local projects. They even do global projects.
Yep.
So I think to me, that is a sign that
you'll be in good hands
yes,
in a way.
correct.
And we'll be talking more about the features, the very cool features that they do provide for this project itself. So moving on to the location view. So for connectivity wise, you don't have to worry about it. Because for Zyon Grand, it is an integrated project with a Havelock MRT station.
Right.
So it is just right above Havelock MRT station.
So there's a lot of discussion going on. Penrith is a District 3.
Yep.
So is Zyon Grand.
Yep.
But the location wise, if you have gone and studied, it's really big difference.
Yes.
So that's why it's important to understand. I'm going to tell you for sure, someone that compares Penrith, considering Penrith, will also consider Zyon.
Yes.
For sure. So it's important to understand, in the entire District 3, you have different locations and how is the supply and demand in those areas.
Yes.
Which is something that in our team, we will use this MAPS framework. Okay, and the first step would be macro. And when we talk about macro, we talk about inventory turnover. How much supply, how much demand are there in that particular location, say 1 kilometer to Havelock, 1 kilometer to Queenstown.
Yep.
And all these are very important, especially when you're going to buy into some place where you have no idea how it's going to turn out in the next, say, 3 to 4 years.
Yep. As we know, Zyon Grand has direct access to Havelock MRT station, and then there's actually just one short walk away from Great Wall City.
Right.
Yep. And with Great Wall City, you get all the amenities. You have good food there. You have supermarkets there. We even have food center there as well.
Correct. So basically, it's a one-stop, I would say, solution where you can get your daily necessities there.
Yep.
Can you imagine people always travel down to Great Wall City just once in a while? But to you, it's your daily go-to place.
Yeah. And it is also just 2 stops away from Orchard Interchange and also just 4 stops away from Marina Bay. So it is a very convenient place, if you are looking at convenience or you need schools, and this is definitely a good location for you.
Right. So in terms of unit mix, we do know that it comes with 706 units.
Yep.
So in terms of car park, you have 565 car park lots with 30 commercial lots. So one thing to point out is that they provide up to 80% car park lot, which is, I would say, compared to today's project, it's more on a better side.
A more generous side, actually.
Yeah, correct. So in terms of our unit mix, we do know that there is 59 units of 1 bedroom plus study. The rest are all your 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms.
And we have all the way up to penthouses as well.
Yes, correct. Five bedrooms.
Yep.
So for the bigger unit mix, I do about 4 and 5, total about 17%. So generally in this area, I would say the number of 1 bedroom unit is very, very important.
Yep.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because at the end of the day, if you were to buy a 1-bedroom plus study, it is important that these people, these 59 of them, are able to sell easily in the future. Can you imagine if, let's say, these people are not able to sell easily in the future, then they're gonna
Be stuck there forever.
correct. And if, let's say, they want to exit, they can only sell
Lower.
right. So if they were to, the low transaction, let's say low per square foot was transacted and it was in the record, anyone that's coming here buying the 2-bedder, 3-bedder, 4 or 5, they will see, hey, the per square foot is only this amount. Then this will also indirectly affect the bigger unit sizes.
Yes.
This is what I feel. So it's very important that the number of 1-bedroom in the development is very important, because of course we want this amount to be well controlled. Correct. So in terms of facing, what do you think?
So for facing wise, what we are looking at is, because for Zyon Grand, we have a total of 62 stories. So it is one of the highest one. So I feel that if we are looking at somewhere to get an unblocked view, definitely, then these are some of the directions that you can consider. So for example, if we are looking at stack 11, for example, it will be facing Tribeca. So it's estimated about 30 stories. So if you are somebody that wants to overlook that, and probably that's where you can, probably gauge maybe 30 stories and above. Because further away, you will have to go past Rivergate as well, which is about 43 stories high.
Right. So I would say over here, we are right smack in the area where you do have quite a number of high-rise building around.
Yes.
So if you are someone that is out there chasing for view, chasing for that, openness, then you got to be very strategic, because it's not just the first building that you want to overlook, but in fact the building behind it, like what Anne mentioned, is very important.
Yep.
So of course we also have other directions. For example, you talk about stack 3 and 4, you will be looking at 30 over stories, which is Great World, about 35 stories estimated, and of course our Centennial Suites, which is about estimated 33 stories.
Yep.
So over here, I think we do agree that, right, different facing, different layout, all these eventually will be the reason why it will be easier for you to exit. We're not talking about profit, right? We're talking about, at the end of the day, how easy, the speed of sale is very important.
Yep.
So the next one we can take a look at is that, in terms of the main view, right? One view we will look at Great World City, our Ion Orchard, as well as the River Valley Primary School. On the other hand, you'll be seeing our CBD area and also your Sentosa, your Tiong Bahru Food Market.
If you go high enough, for example, 60 stories or 50 plus, you could probably see, some
Malaysia.
sea view as well. Maybe not Malaysia, but then towards the Sentosa side, probably you get sea view as well.
True. So in terms of facilities, when we look at, I think it's quite standard nowadays to have your fitness suite, your swimming pool, barbecue pit, and tennis court.
Yes.
I would say it has all that is required for a full condo facility,
Yep.
a standard development. So I think that's nice, because living in such area, maybe these are the kind of, for example, tennis court, these are the kind of things that will separate you from other developments. You may not use it, but you have it.
Yeah,
that's
that's
what I
the
feel.
main point.
Yeah. So to something that's more interesting, I think because of the kind of projects that these two main developers have done,
Yeah.
the kind of accessories that they provide, I would say, blew me away.
Yep.
What do you think?
Yeah, because both of us went down to the show flat one day.
So the taggers down there did introduce to us, right, regarding some of the finishing, what kind of equipment, the kind of
Yep.
mechanical latch that you're
Yeah.
using.
So they have this integrated magnetic accessory wall system, whereby some of the walls are actually magnetized in a way. So they do have this accessory thing whereby you can just stick on like the latch towards the wall and you get to hang your stuff. So we feel that that's quite cool, because
Correct.
no drilling is needed and no mess is needed as well.
So that's actually by a brand called Corten. So from my understanding is that it's not the thing that is magnetized, it's behind that wall there's a plate, there's a metal plate. But of course you must have something that is so strong such that it can really, latch itself onto behind. But it's not the tiles. So the tiles itself is not magnetized. It's in between the tiles there's a piece
There's
of,
a piece of
yeah, so
metal.
it's the kind of technology that they're giving to us. And when I was there, there are a few areas, for example the kitchen, you're talking about the backsplash.
Yes.
That was quite functional,
Yep.
right? On the other hand, when you talk
The
about
bathroom
your
as well.
right, and anything underneath the vanity above your tap, that slab, right, is something that is using Corten. On the right hand side of the basin, you also have that same similar technology,
Yeah.
which I mean you can adjust. And the thing is that if I remember correctly, it can withstand up to 3 to 5 kilograms.
Yep,
So
around there.
yeah, so with that, it gives you that flexibility even for the next buyer. Sometimes maybe we are, everybody is different in their own way. So you're taller or maybe you're not so tall,
Yep.
then you can adjust accordingly without having to worry about the fact that there's the wall, the hole are being drilled there. Yeah, so I honestly felt that it was quite good. I even rested my hand there.
Yeah.
And it was,
quite stable.
quite sturdy. So I think this is one thing. Also, Corten, they focus on integrating this magnetic accessory wall system. On top of that, they emphasize on two things. The first one will be flexible as well as effortless. It is really indeed flexible and effortless.
Yep. So the other one would be the Kakaro wardrobes. I think we were blown away by that as well.
I could tell you really liked it.
Yeah, I really, really liked it. Because in a way whereby it is not just normal like wardrobe. So it kind of like opens up to like 4 different panels.
Yes.
And with that, they do have like a smaller metal structure in the middle of it. So in a way whereby definitely there's flexibility of placing your suitcases inside.
Right. I think the key thing to me was that nowadays a lot of condo developments, they provide sliding wardrobes. So when you slide, you realize that at
Half
one
of it is not being
correct. At one time, only 50% can be exposed out. But with the Kakaro wardrobe system, like the masters that we saw, you could essentially open up more.
Yes.
And it's just beautiful. To me, is that because we have seen so many projects recently, right? So I mean, this really stood out.
Yep.
Yeah. So
If you're unsure of what we are talking about, you can just reach out to us and we can bring you down to see like the wardrobes.
or if you're lazy, we can just send you the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. In terms of land location, so the most recent one we know it will be our River Green as well as our Promenade Peak.
Yep. So we do have 4 plots of land there. So the 2 would be River Green and Promenade Peak, and the third one would be Zyon Grand.
So the interesting thing about this land is that CDL got it at $1,202 per square foot per plot ratio, which makes it the cheapest among the recent projects. Like for example, River Green, they got it at 1,325 per square foot. Then for
Promenade Peak is at 1,304.
Right.
And with one more new one, which is just being awarded in February 2025, it is Wokuland got it at 1,420, so it's even higher.
Right. To me, why I feel that they may have gotten it so cheap was because they were the only bid. Maybe a lot of these developers out there are still quite conservative and careful because of that service apartment component.
Yep.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I mean, people still have there are some reservations towards say one condo and 2 different components.
Yep.
We have no idea how it will look, how it will turn out.
out.
Especially imagine you have a lot of day-to-day people moving in and out and stuff like that. So I think that's why I could understand why they were the only bid. But of course, I mean, the reason that they got it also proves that they are quite confident. And the fact that they got it 1,202 means that they have the flexibility to sell at a much attractive price if they want to.
Which they are. We have the price already, and it is starting from
2,688. But of course, during our calculation, during our analysis, we will not use 2,688. We will give you a bit of buffer to determine whether or not, even with that buffer in place, it doesn't make sense.
Yep.
Alright. So we do know one thing for sure, that in terms of River Green, they transacted at an average of 3,116 per square foot. How about Promenade?
So Promenade is about 2,965. But with River Green itself, it's actually 89% sold. With Promenade Peak, it's 57% sold.
Correct.
So I feel that definitely layout plays an important part as well as the whole analysis as well. And definitely that's why we feel that even so with a higher price point for River Green, we do know that with the right layout as well as analysis, buyers will tend to go more towards that direction, and that's why we get 89% sold for River Green on launch day.
So you ended off by saying that and Promenade Peak was 2,965.
Yes.
Okay. But from here, the interesting thing is that the fact that River Green transacted at the average price higher than Promenade Peak, it still managed to do better than Promenade Peak. I think this comes to show that layout is indeed very important. Right? It will play a very critical role in terms of the total sale on the launch day itself.
Yeah.
Right? In terms of 1 bedroom plus study, you get 474 square feet. So it's quite standard. You have your open concept kitchen, study tucked at the corner. Really nothing too much that we can nitpick about. It's just a matter of at 1.375 million. Are there better options out there for you?
Yep.
Right? Because today the ones that are buying 1 plus study, unless what I can foresee is really say a single or maybe a young couple that loves this Great World City, wants to stay at Zyon area, then by all means stay. But in terms of exit, honestly, I still have a bit of reservations towards that. I'm not trying to say that it's not something that you should consider. You can still consider, but maybe in terms of the investment cycle, you're looking maybe at a longer time horizon.
Yeah. So moving on to the 2-bedroom layout, we do have 3 different layouts. So the first one would be the smallest one at 538 square feet. Assuming it to be 2,900 per square feet, we are looking at an estimated about 1.56 million. This one will be a standard dumbbell layout with an open concept kitchen as well that is not enclosable. Then we do have the master bedroom and the master bath at one side, and with another bedroom at the other side. So this one is quite standard in a way.
Correct.
But I feel that with the price point, this is something that we do suggest if you're looking to buy this project as an investment, then probably with just a small top up, probably a 2-bedroom one would make more sense.
Correct. So in terms of the other size, what we're looking at will be the 646 square feet. It is a conventional 2-bedroom layout where once you enter, you have your rooms all tucked at one corner. So one different thing that I've seen here is that the kitchen is really along the entire wall when you come in, and then the dining table just right in front. I think the placement wise is still okay. It's nothing too much different from here.
Yep.
But one thing to point out is that the 2-bedroom master bath does come with a window. Sometimes you don't even get that for a 2-bedroom because nowadays they always put the bigger unit sizes on the corners. So to me, knowing the fact that the master does come with a window, I think that's a plus point that is worth mentioning. But the question for us that we need to think about would be from the 2-bedroom 538 square feet all the way to our 2-bedroom 646 square feet, you are paying about $310,000, assuming both is 2,900 per square foot. So the question would be, is it worth it for you to pay $310,000 more for a bigger size and for one more bath?
Yep.
So we leave it to you guys to decide, but we do have another one.
Yep, which is the biggest 2-bedroom premium plus study, which is going at 721 per square feet. So assuming it to be 2,900 per square feet again, the estimated is from 2.09 million. So this one would be a dumbbell layout. As we can see, I think most of the clients would prefer like an L-shaped kitchen because you get more privacy and there might be a chance for you to be enclosable as well.
Right.
So we have the study that's tucked at one corner. Then we do have 2 baths in this one. So one good thing about with a dumbbell layout with 2 baths is that next time in the future, if you are looking to rent, you can rent it to 2 different tenants instead of just one.
So I've seen quite a number of such layout. If you ask me, the bathroom 2, the ones from the bedroom 2, right? perhaps if they could have added one more door to allow that bedroom itself to come with its own attached bath, I think that would be a plus point.
Understand.
Right? But aside from that, nothing too much that we can really compare. But of course, if you compare this to the 2-bedroom premium, this master bath does not come with a window. Do you see the difference I'm talking about? So the question will be, in terms of 2-bedroom premium and 2-bedroom plus study, how much more are you paying? You are paying potentially $220,000 more for an additional study, for a possible enclosable kitchen, and also a more functional layout in terms of that dumbbell that we are talking about.
Yep.
So yeah, is it worth it for you to pay $220,000? For our team, we feel that it is worth it. Right, so if you're gonna go in for 2-bedroom premium, then you might as well top up another 220k. In terms of layout, in terms of efficiency, practicality wise, that study, it could be a potential, say, another bedroom for you, right? It could also be, say, a storeroom for you, and that just gives so much more flexibility, because when we talk about 2-bedroom today, even small family of 3 are considering. So when it comes to family, storage spaces is important. So that's where I feel that this study justifies the price. So moving on to the 3-bedroom,
we have 4 different kind of layouts.
The very first 3-bedroom, which is 818 square feet. The layout wise is quite interesting, because why? You can say it's conventional, yet they added a little bit of a twist. Because you realize that for bedroom 3, the placement is right across your master bedroom. So why did they do that? It's because the developer is trying to shorten that unnecessary walkway. If the normal common bedrooms were to be placed side by side, you can imagine that walkway that we're talking about. That is quite inefficient to many people. So other than that, I would say kitchen-wise is really along the wall, and you are not able to close it for this one. So the price we're looking at, if let's say we assume 2,900 per square foot as your entry price, is about 2.372 million. And if we were to compare it to the next one, roughly about say 861 square feet, maybe about slightly under 50 square feet difference, right? So what do you think?
If we are just topping up for 125k, definitely, I would go for the 3-bedroom deluxe. Because one thing to note is that I get an enclosable kitchen. And this would mean that with enclosable kitchen, and then we do see that there is a window at the side. That means we do get the stove instead of just induction cooker, which, we have clients that is very particular on that.
Right. I was looking at it, and I personally feel that the 3-bedroom deluxe is also better, which is in line with what our team feels, by our investment team. And key things to point out, even the bathrooms, the common bath, the master bath, all comes with window. And I think this is very important when it comes to a family. Even for the welcome foyer, you have absolute privacy. You're not able to peek into your living. So I feel that for 125k more, this makes absolute sense.
That's what I think as well.
And I strongly believe that this unit will be the first one to go off if you compare to the 3-bedroom. Quantum wise is affordable, layout wise is efficient, because you realize that now they have shifted the bedroom 2 and bedroom 3 to be across each other. So the walkway, if you really take a look, is quite efficient. Yeah.
So moving on to the 2 other different 3-bedroom types. So we have the 3-bedroom premium plus study at 1,055 square feet. So this one, the quantum we are looking at is about
3.06 million if we were to use 2,009 per square foot. So the question will be quite interesting. The 3-bedroom without the study, right, the deluxe one, and this 3-bedroom premium plus study, of course, you're paying $560,000 more. It does come with a study, and it opens up, giving you that potential landscape layout that you're looking at. Right? But the thing is that I'm quite conservative, because the price jump is quite huge. You're talking about easily $500,000. So where are we thinking of is, because earlier on we did some research from our investment team. The average affordability of the top 20% people living in Singapore, they can only afford up to $3.3 million as of now. So the question will be 3.06 million. If you say yes, I do agree it's possible, but I think we're still quite conservative. If let's say you're buying for investment, you buy 3.06 million, you sell at 3.3 million, it makes only about 200,000. And maybe from an investment point of view, I will have second thoughts about this. So the right entry price is important. I'm not trying to say this one you can't buy. If it's low enough, the price is attractive enough, we have no idea what's going to happen on launch day. If the developer decides to pull something on us that surprise us, then maybe I would say this 3-bedroom premium plus study is in fact something that you can consider. And if you can consider this, you might as well top up a little bit more for the 1,076 square feet, which is the 3-bedroom premium plus study, which is the one that you'll be seeing at the show flat. Right? So okay, in terms of 4-bedroom, what do you think?
So for 4-bedroom, it comes with private leaves, and this is something that we are going with a different approach as well as lifestyle and as well as quantum already. So with the 4-bedroom premium with private leave, it is at 1,241 square feet. Assuming it to be 2,900 per square feet, it will be estimated from 4.12 million. So let's take a look at the layout itself. So once we come in from the private leave, we actually get a dry kitchen and a wet kitchen as well. And the wet kitchen is definitely enclosable. Then afterwards, we do get the whole landscape living room, which is something that, if you are with this kind of quantum, this is something that is a must lah, we would say.
It's a lifestyle.
It is a lifestyle. So afterwards, we do get a shorter corridor as well, with the 4-bedroom as well as 3-bedroom tucked at the side, with the master bedroom right at the end, with a walk-in wardrobe as well as the master bath. and the other side would be the junior master suite. I feel that this layout is not bad.
I mean, I don't really agree because if you're going to be paying for, say, estimated 4.12 million, let's say based on 2,900 per square foot, you might as well top out the 280k.
Okay.
I think the
But
key
what's
difference, the key difference is that the placement of the yard and utility, if you realize, it links you to the back door. So if let's say you have your stuff at the yard area and it's in between that door, the passageway where you need to exit out of the house, then I mean, you're at this level already. This is very important.
Yep.
Right. So one good thing is that the utility for the 4-bedroom Supreme is tucked all the way at the end, and it comes with windows as well. So it gives you that flexibility that if you want to put a helper there, I think you do have that luxury. Whereas for the other one, I'm not trying to say it's not good, but once you exit out the utility room for the 1,421 square feet, that's where the back door is. So I rather that is being tucked away from the back door itself.
Yep.
So moving on to the next one, we do have the 4-bedroom Supreme Plus Study,
Yes.
which is 1,615 square feet, quite similar to the one before that, just about 100 square feet bigger.
Yep.
So you are paying potentially, say, another 280k more. So in this case, where's the study located?
Study is tucked right at the corner of the junior master suite.
Correct. I mean, ideally, if you ask me, if the study does come with a window, I think that would be more perfect. Alright, so whether for the 280k more, yes, you get a little bit bigger in terms of size. I leave it up to you guys to decide.
Yep.
Okay. Last but not least will be our 5 bedrooms. The first one will be the 5-bedroom Supreme at 1,819 square feet. So what do you think?
Yep, so for this one, I think they just added one more bedroom in front of the junior master suite. And I think the rest of the layout is quite similar. Yep.
And of course, the bedroom number 5 allows you to have direct access to the balcony. So if you ask me, a 4-bedroom plus study with a private lift, 1,615 square feet, going at 4.68 million. Comparing to a 5-bedroom Supreme, yes, it is much bigger, but you're paying potentially, say, about 500 to 600, another $500,000.
Yep.
So those that are going for that 5-bedroom Supreme are really people that are really here for that status, for their lifestyle, ready to stay for good, if you ask me.
Yeah.
And last but not least,
We have the penthouse as well.
Yes.
We have two different kind of penthouses. One would be the slightly smaller one at 2,659 square feet, and the other one at 2,756 square feet.
I think for the sake of time, this one we don't need to go through so much because those that are really looking for this area with the 8 million budget,
Yep.
I think they really know what they want.
Yeah.
Okay, so just in case you guys get bored, so we move on with that.
Yep.
Right. So the first thing is that when we analyze a project, this is the fun part. How do we analyze? So as you guys know, it is not the first time you've seen our video. We do have our own framework, which is we call MAPS, right? So M stands for macro, where we actually analyze the entire district. We talk about the inventory turnover. It has its own index. So we compare that to 1 kilometer,
Yep.
okay, from Havelock MRT. Where does it stand? So if we take a look at 1 kilometer from Havelock MRT, right, unfortunately, we do see that in this area, we are quite worried and quite concerned about one thing. There is a lot of supply in this area.
Yeah.
Whether or not will the demand be able to soak up this supply is something that is of a question mark for now.
Yes.
Because if you see the amount of balance units in the market, there are still new launches, especially for Promenade Peak, and even there's still some balance unit for River Green.
Yep.
I think a lot of people will be on the fences, thinking about in the future, if I want to sell, would the nearby people keen to take over?
Yeah.
Right, so I would say in terms of supply, you do see quite a number of supply coming out, especially in the next 3 to 4 years' time.
And we do have one more plot that's coming up as well. So I think this is something that, clients would raise concern as well.
Correct. But then again, if we talk about the finishing, it's quite good. So I think that is where when we talk about District 3, it is also important because District 3 is huge, it's long.
Yeah.
So you have to compare, say, if you compare to 1 kilometer from Queenstown MRT, which is where Penreef is at, then perhaps in that area, because of HDB upgraders and stuff like that, it could be something on a lot of the consumers' mind. Would it be easier for me to exit?
Yep.
Right? So like I mentioned to you, when you're buying for investment, you need to be very clear from the point you buy. You need to ask yourself, who can I sell to? How can I sell? When to sell? How much to sell?
Yes.
So I think I've repeated this quite a number of times, and I still do have my reservations in terms of entering into Zyon Grand at this point in time.
Yep.
Yeah, so of course more analysis has to be done. So if it's your first time seeing some of our analysis video and you want to see deep dive further to see other than these any other options out there, or in terms of exit strategy, what kind of transformation you're looking at, because macro is just the first step. We still do have our area potential, we have our price gap analysis, we also have our site development, which we will run through in the next few slides.
Yes. So moving on to the price gap analysis, so definitely we will take Promenade Peak. For the first example, it is going to TOP at 2031, and it is 154 meters away from Havelock MRT, which is quite near to us, even though we are integrated. So what we can see is that the average PSF is about 2.9. So with that, since our average is also about 2.9, so I feel that this is a good comparison. Just
Right.
that we are really in the MRT per se.
And if let's say both average the same per square foot,
Yeah.
then distance to MRT, yes, 150 meters is not very far.
Yes.
But if you are even closer, this is something that buyers will compare. Next thing will be layout.
Yep.
So if you guys have done your due diligence, you can compare the layouts between both projects, and I think eventually you will find the answer to which one is better.
Yep.
Right? I do know we have another project which is the Riviera, TOP in 2023 and about 246 meters away from MRT. So the first thing we have to do is to normalize it.
Yep, so normalizing it would be plus 7% for GFA harmonization and 40 per square feet times...
To do the lease reset.
Yes, to do the lease reset. So it's 6 years and it would average about 3,343 per asset. So it's actually way higher than our average.
Correct.
So this one, it will be up to you to compare within both prices and, yeah.
I think generally in this area, if the developer price it correctly, which we already know the starting from price, how much, there should be a walkaway price. Very, very clear one. Because if you're going to be buying here, buyers will compare. Okay, you're going to compare your entry price or per square foot with the nearby launches. I think over here, you've got to be very, very price sensitive in order to, in the future, be able to exit easy and to exit with that solid profit.
Yep.
So of course, we do have our price matrix, which you guys can see. We'll flash it here. You guys can check it out for yourself. So there's 2 of them because there's basically so many different layouts.
Yes.
So we will not dive too deep on this.
Yep.
Let's talk about exit strategy.
Yeah, so we have 2 different exit strategy. The first one being advantage pricing. So before that, we did mention that we have 4 plots of land with CDL being the lowest bidded for our plot of land, which is at 1,200 plus, while the other Promenade Peak as well as River Green is at 1,300 plus, and with the last one that is being awarded in February 2025 is at 1,400 plus. So I think this one gives us a good sensing that if our project do well, then definitely we are in a good status and we are in a good situation whereby if the next project that's going to launch in next year, for example, then with the average,
you can do expect that the price will be going to be higher because if we buy at 1,202 per square foot per plot ratio and they bought it at 1,420 per square foot per plot ratio, I mean, I do see the fact that Oko is going to launch it at a higher price.
Yes.
Right? But of course, who knows, maybe they give us a surprise.
Yeah, we don't know as well.
Right. Yep. So then one thing that we have to consider about will be the rental demand. One good thing about this area is that I think it has shown to be very resilient. It has shown that no matter how much supply are there in the area, the demand is able to soak up all of it.
Yep.
So that's why it's also important. If you are buying this for own stay, please do not neglect the part where you don't care about rental just because you say you're going to be buying for own stay. Remember, if someday something were to happen, do you want to be able to rent it out fast? Do you want to be able to rent it out good? So rental is still very important. So I can tell you that Zyon Grand's strategic location, right, places it in the heart of Singapore. So being one of the most centralized locations for amenities, CBD, and this lifestyle and accessibility we are talking about. So I think rental wouldn't be an issue for sure. So let's summarize why you should not buy and why you should buy.
Yep. So why you should not buy, there is 3 different reasons. The one being urban density as well as lifestyle trade-off. Since you want it to be, with all the convenience, definitely, then it would also mean that you get more traffic noises, you will get during peak hours, and you get lesser privacy as well. Correct. So if this is something that is you are not so favorable about, then this is not the right project for you.
Right. So the next one would be stack sensitivity and ongoing cost. So for example, 62 stories, you can imagine the amount of maintenance it takes, right?
Yep.
So all these things generally are costs that even if you don't bother, the next buyer or other people may be worried about.
Yep.
So the amount of maintenance, we have no idea how much it will amount to, but that is something that if you're quite concerned about, then maybe you can consider other project.
Yep.
Right? So lastly would be our freehold. So same thing as we always mention, if you're someone that's only very particular about freehold status, then obviously this is not the one for you.
Yep.
Alright? So now we talk about why you should buy. So of course, first and foremost, I don't think we need to say too much, right? The location, the excellent connectivity. So if you're someone that loves it, and it has always been your dream to live in this Havelock area, then by all means go ahead. Number 2 will be the uninterrupted skyline view.
Yes.
As we mentioned to you, 62 stories, each and every direction. You do have that opportunity to have an unblocked view.
Yes.
Depending how high you are, because 62 stories is indeed very, very high already.
Yep.
So depending on what kind of view you're looking for, you can have the opportunity to go for it.
Yep.
Right. Last but not least will be the dual play potential. What do we call this? So basically, it is perfect for owner-occupiers who prioritize convenience at the same time, direct MRT, on-site F&B, you talk about your preschool, supermarket, everything is very attractive. On the other hand, for investors as well, you talk about rental yield just now, right? So these are some things that investors will probably care about because people that are renting out there, they really care about the location.
Yep.
So, and all these expats, I mean, companies are giving them quite a good amount of
budget.
Yeah, to get a place. So most of them, I think nowadays what we do see is that it's either they're going for this area or maybe the Holland area, whereby there's more lifestyle. But of course, the difference in location matters. If they want something that's more closer to CBD, perhaps this is the one that they will go for.
Yes.
Right? So with that, kind of like we come to the end of today.
Yes.
So if let's say there's any particular layout that you feel that we didn't highlight, or because of the interest of time, and you want us to analyze, and more importantly, you have your Penreef, Zyon, you have your Faber residence, everything launching in this area in the month of October.
Yep.
Then you know what? Feel free to reach out to us. We will have a sit-down session to run through everything with you and how you should make informed decisions, right? So it's important now. I emphasize informed decision because once you commit, it's the next 4 years that you're talking about.
Yes.
Right. So, and in fact, today, just fun fact, we went down and visit the URA exhibition.
Okay.
Yeah, so through there, we do see a lot of transformations coming out around the entire Singapore. Then the question that came to my thought is that there's so many transformation. Which one is the one that will outperform the rest of the other transformations? So if you are keen about that as well, right, you know who to look out for. So if you do like what we have done so far, you like the contents that we are doing, please do share, like, and subscribe. Otherwise, I think we have come to the end of today and we will see you guys in the next one.
Like our content, subscribe for more.